Years ago, I went out to Chicago. I got to see Caprini Greens before they tore down the towers. And the conditions out there, learning the rules while I was riding around. People was like, yo, you know, I used to wear my hat like this. And it was like, yo, bro, no. Put that shit forward.
Like a baseball player, right?
Yeah,
this means
straight to the back.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Chill out. You know what I mean?
Is that true?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, every time I go over there, they say it.
You got to keep your head straight. Well,
What does that
let's
mean?
say more.
It means you banging.
It tells you what side you what side
Okay, so
you
left is one thing, right is one thing, back is a different thing?
No, back is just regular.
Regular.
Straight and back.
Straight back, straight forward, straight back.
But if you going to the left, you going to the right. Like if you usually right, you know, more the GDs, folks type side. You go to the left, you more the Stones. Translation, right, you more of a Crip. You more of a Blood going to the left.
Right.
Damn.
And
Is that truly like heavy out there? Like still?
hell yeah.
What? Hell yeah, that's embedded. I think that shit been going on longest or longer.
Yeah, cause like 10 years ago, we went over there for a battle, and they was just like, all right, cool. Let me let you know as soon as you get the plane, just make sure your hat's to the front.
10 years of
and I'm
battle.
just like, for real. Tez and Ill Will.
Tez Ill Will.
Not Ill Will. I keep doing that. Young Ill.
Young Ill. Okay,
Yeah.
for me versus Clips and shit. Yeah. Nah, yeah. Around that time, man, people kind of like let you, unless you find somebody on it. Like if you find some niggas riding around looking for people hats going the wrong way,
Right.
Then it is. But usually people ain't bothering you like
Right.
that. It used to be really heavy with the colors, like
Right.
you know what I mean.
What
You
was
went
the
red.
colors that you couldn't wear?
Like it depends on where you at. You could wear whatever color if you're around that area. But if like if she around the folks, she can't wear that. She can't wear that around them. Black and red. That's you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, but that's more back then. You know what I mean? Nowadays it ain't really like that.
And when I hear about Chicago, I hear, like, I got one of my friends who live in Chicago, grew up there and everything like that. And he tells me, like, when I ask him about it, he said, yo, bro, it's only a certain block, yo. It's like, it's not the whole thing. It's like a certain area, and they caught up in that little area, and they just really just killing each other. Is it like that from your perspective?
That's a certain area that's getting documented.
Okay.
Like I feel like that area, like the people that y'all seeing, the whole Chief Keef beefs and all that, is that area that y'all getting documented.
Right.
But that shit been going on in Chicago since the beginning of time. People only beef with people they next door to, two, 3 houses,
Right.
2 blocks over.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody beef with nobody all the way over.
All the way
the other
across
side.
town, they not trying to do
They
all
could
that.
have did the worst thing to him on across town, but they gonna beef with the nigga 2 blocks over.
That
To the
sucks.
death. To the
That is
death.
sad. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it was wild. And I gotta say that the environment itself makes you feel like you in a war zone. I remember walking out my man's crib like, yo, I gotta go to the store. And him, you know, hollering at his sister and her walking out with the joint to walk me down 75th. And there's like siren lights going all night long because
That's
these
the
corners
cameras.
are indicted.
That's the cameras. Usually when they drop an indictment where they wrap up the block, after that they was putting cameras on the block.
Right.
So you talking about sirens
Yeah,
like
you
that.
see the lights going on every corner as you
But
walk in a
people
big
don't
ass
even
camera.
people don't
and
even
it's
care
like,
about them lights no more.
Yeah.
Like after a while motherfuckers started, man, them cameras don't work. They started back hustling. They started back shooting on the same blocks. Man, them cameras work like a motherfucker. What y'all doing? Y'all hurt the right motherfucker. That camera gonna see your ass.
Right.
For
Damn.
sure.
But imagine living in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, living in it.
Where'd you grow up in Chicago?
Shit, man, all over Chicago, but really South Side.
South side.
South Side, around 71st area.
What
was on
was that
70
like?
was on
Inglewood
75th.
area. Shit.
Did you have a lot of
Over
issues?
East. Yeah, you gonna have issues. You gonna have issues, especially growing up as a man in Chicago.
Right.
Well-
You sit and not choosing no side.
So yeah, you're
what I'm
not
saying?
gang affiliated, correct?
No, I wasn't with the GDs, I wasn't with the BDs, I wasn't with the Lords, I wasn't with the Stones, I wasn't with nothing.
Why
They
not?
always created, they always was around. You know what I'm saying?
Why
Right.
did you get influenced to join or to be a
All right,
part?
when I was young, I had like kind of a big family. You see what I'm saying? I had like 6 cousins, so it was almost like one of my cousins was folks, but it was almost like, nigga, why am I going to get love from y'all? My family right here. You see what I'm saying? We gonna whoop y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Like if shit get crazy in here, me and my cousins, what's the name? So by that time, I got old enough to think like, man, I don't have to be with you. Since I missed that age where the peer pressure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you at one time could have been in that situation? Like you all wanted to at one point?
It's all around you.
You know how many, like they automatically think I'm folks GD just from where I live.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And my mannerisms is of that, but it's just from where I live. But I'm not, I just was one of those people that was blessed to not ever just pick a side. Like I'd never let these niggas, you know what I'm saying, go under the, and then if I wanted to be in it, I had to go the right way. Like we had to get full blown, you know what I mean, jump, you know what I mean? I ain't want to be no false flagging ass nigga neither. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I hate false flagging ass niggas more than anything back in the day. Like, like nigga, you ain't even in it.
You ain't really get it.
You didn't even get it. You know what I'm saying?
They just let you in.
Yeah.
The door wide open for anybody.
I need it the right way.
Like, how do you feel about, you know, being from Long Beach? Like, people banging on records.
I mean, it's the culture. It's you know, if you live a certain lifestyle, that's what you gonna project on the mic. That's how you gonna create your art. It's gonna be based on your lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
I want to say Free Casanova.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you see the game that's being played now.
Yeah, I see it.
They're looking for any type of association.
Yeah.
You throw up your hood in a
Yeah.
video, and you just happen to be around somebody who put in some work, and they find out. They rallying, and they grabbing everybody up.
That's what they doing. I mean, and we making ourselves easy targets. You know what I'm saying? You got to move smarter now.
Right.
You got to understand where it's at and be like, okay, you know, crime has always. And I ain't saying nobody's committing crimes. I'm just saying crime, the crime element, the hood, the streets, things that go on, has always evolved with time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And got smarter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, for the young guys, I get tired of looking at young dudes on a video and saying to myself, I hope he lives. You know what I'm saying? I get tired of looking at videos of young dudes and
feel the same way.
And be like, damn, I hope nobody don't kill this young dude. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going on. And then when I look at the older guys who they're not giving out the jewelry they should be. You know what I'm saying? To the kids. Like, we need to figure out how we could stop that. But me and you both know that's almost like a runaway train.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna stop somebody?
Because again, we get
They
back
run
to
deep.
This marketing. The marketing of it is
Right.
It's the hype.
It's crazy. Yeah. I know some rappers who really, you know what I'm saying, wasn't really affiliated and active like that, but they used it as marketing.
Right.
Because somebody said, if you just come out as yourself without a gang movement behind you,
You ain't gonna move.
you're not gonna move no records. So now they gotta use that element to sell records, but also that element creates other energies.
Right.
There's people from your hood that's like, that's not you.
Right.
And when we see you, we gonna let you know that's not you. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people around the world that want to test you now because of the energy you giving off. Right. So it's really tough, man. You know, everybody just wants to be successful, and these motherfucking labels, they don't care. They're going to let you go ahead and act a fucking fool out there. Because like we just talked about, when somebody pop you, more record sales. They don't care.
Figure it out. Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Wake up, man. We need to stop all that, man.
You in the game, but you're not moving the pieces. You being moved, man. Wake up.
Wake up.
So, all right. Being from Long Beach, how do you feel about seeing Bloods and Crips all over the United States now?
I saw it early. You know what I'm saying? I moved out of the city. My mom wanted to go back to Oklahoma, where she from, you know what I'm saying? She moved to Cali to get a record deal. She got a record deal. Some shit happened. She met my father in Long Beach. He was in the Navy. He was stationed in the Navy in Long Beach.
Right.
She had me. We stayed in Cali for a while, you know, doing our thing in the city, all that type of shit. And then one summer, she just decided she wanted to go back to Oklahoma. So we went back, and I watched the development of gangbanging in Oklahoma. I watched it. You know, I was like, okay, a dude moved in from LA, a dude moved into town from LA, a dude moved in from Compton. They started 2 separate hoods. There was already a hood there, you know what I'm saying, that was moving around, but they wasn't really Crips or Bloods.
Right.
And then the Crippin' and Blooding took place, and it started to blossom. And I just watched it all develop from one person to 100 motherfuckers claiming and repping, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, this shit is crazy, because it was a culture shock when I first came out here, because wasn't really nobody tripping. I could come outside, you know what I mean? Everything cool. Nigga, ride my bike with a Dodger hat on to the back, blue. Ain't nobody finna say shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You
but
good.
Now
this
like
vacation time right here.
Yeah, now it's starting to develop into something different. And then I moved to Vegas because my mom was moving around. Every time my older brother got into some shit or I got into some shit, my mom would try to run from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we moved to Vegas. Niggas was banging Crips and Bloods. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, this shit is everywhere. You know, so it's like.
Did you respect it?
Well, I had some cousins who were claiming a gang set out of South Central, who never been to South Central at the time.
Right.
They was putting in work and getting shot. My cousin got shot 7 times for that hood. So my perspective changed, because it was like, okay, well, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Whether it is or not.
You taking bullets and giving them for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, I took my cousin came out here and shit, and we went over there to the hood that he was representing and all that shit, and they, you know, they accepted him. You know what I'm saying? They accepted him. But for me, dog, being on the outside, because, you know, my older brother, my older cousins, they all Crips. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they like, yo, tossing me a blue rag when I was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? 9, 10. You feel me? But I ain't really walked that type of path, really. I just really grew up in it.
Right.
I know it. I know the ins and outs of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's what you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just chose to. I was like, dog, it's got to be something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it was like, I'm not making no money like that either.
So does it confuse you when you see people choose it? It wasn't in it.
Yeah, I always get confused. I've always been confused by the people who gain success and then become a gang member or start hanging out with gangs, and you know what I'm saying, after they just went, you know, triple platinum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or
and then all
they
of
got a big record deal with $1 million advance, and all of a sudden they hanging out in Compton with some real niggas that will swallow your ass up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you doing it for the trend of it. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that was really crazy, man. But you know.
But it's worked for some people.
It's work, man. And you know what? We never talk about the guys who are out there trying to stop, you know, the gang intervention guys who did 20. You know, we don't really talk about, you know, the Crips and Bloods that's 55 years old right now, did they time, got their stripes, you know what I'm saying? But now they showing up at high schools like, yo, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Find a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think we need to start putting them type of dudes on a platform. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the energy we need.
Right.
What year did the Bloods and Crips come out?
In New York?
Anybody know that? No.
In
Cali.
In Cali.
Was it
what year did that come out?
1984?
No,
70s.
The 70s?
No, it was 80s. No, in Cali, it was before that.
Yeah.
In Tucson, it was 80s. 80s. No, 70s. Tucson, was the 80s.
All right, so basically the 70s or 80s, correct?
Yes.
So now, before then, where was Compton at? Was Compton a black place? Was Watts a black place?
They
was
integrated. There wasn't no gang violence then because they did a documentary on it. It was white, or maybe blended.
Before the 70s, these was all white communities.
The rivalry originated in the 1960s, but it was founded 1972.
1970.
1972?
Yeah. 1970.
It's the point that I'm making with it. You already had documented, it's already a fact. In the 1920s, here in Harlem, we was warring against the mob. Here in Harlem, black gangs was established in the 1920s.
Right.
Yeah.
The Black Spade was established in the 1960s.
Right. What you saying?
Who's following who?
The gang shit started here, he's saying.
Where did the influence come from?
I mean, we know that.
I know. We don't know that.
No.
We don't know that.
You know
narrative.
what? You know what? No. Hold on. I can't say it started here. Chicago has an extensive history on the beginning of gangs also. So I can't say it started here. I can't.
You got to look it up.
I can't.
Look it up.
I can't
If we're
say it
talking
started
the
here.
gang, because you're talking about gangs in New York, even that, the Dead Rabbits, that's real shit.
Like that's real. It's all real shit. Like,
yeah.
The point I'm making, not to get off.
All right.
There was no Watts and Compton. There was no Bloods and Crips. So no matter what you want to look at it, there was no gangs in LA like it is and there was in New York in the 1920s and beyond, and even before then, we had established gangs, black gangs here that were already fighting, getting money, that owned this whole area, and it was fighting against the mob.
Late 1950s. Late 1950s, so apparently New York got it.
Exactly. Thank you, I already know that. So, and it's not the 1950s, it's the 1920s, because you forgetting about Bumpy Johnson.
No, I'm talking about Chicago.
It started in
Chicago,
1950s.
1950s.
We was definitely before them. You should have knew that from Al Capone.
I give you that.
Al Capone.
Yeah.
You should have knew that.
Yeah.
Al Capone's from
Right.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Right.
Al Capone's from Brooklyn.
Al Capone is from Brooklyn.
Al Capone is from
I
Brooklyn.
should have known he's from Brooklyn.
Went to
Crazy
Chicago
as
and
he
to Kobe.
So again, the point is, it shows you that
These Brooklyn niggas
Harlem,
is wow.
Initiated all this. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
the black spades.
the one thing-
the black spades come from Harlem.
The
Go
one thing
back
I'll
to the
give Harlem-
1960s, the Bronx.
He just gave it to Harlem just now. He said the influence. Harlem got the influence, yo.
Harlem was a mecca at one
It's
point.
rumored that the black spades come out of the Black Panthers, BLA, and then they didn't turn around and tell you Bloods and Crips come out of that.
Yeah.
Who's first?
The two things I'll give Harlem,
I give that.
I give Harlem credit.
I wouldn't say it's
I don't take that because again, we all the same.
Right.
But I don't like that narrative that is getting pushed like New York is some followers and we just picked up gang thing and start following.
Well, in a way, yes. In a way,
because newer generation.
If it was like, okay, this is the 2022 Black Spades, then that would be like, okay, the origination. But once we adopted the West Coast gangs, we fell under
These other dudes as followers now.
When I was coming up, I used to be a blood. I used to be 9-straight gangster. And before I converted to my religion of Islam, we used to always say Suwu or Brat, or we used to always have little signs and shit that we used to always represent our city or not. When I became Muslim, I started propagating the deen like I seen it propagated while we was in prison. So I just seen the unity, the brotherhood, and I seen like the compassion and brothers praying and shit together. So when I got out of jail, I wanted to implement that same thing that I seen in jail. So when I got out of jail and I was rapping, one day it just came in my head while I was upstairs inside my bed. Pop shit. I said, I'm gonna go down here to the studio and say that shit on the song. I ran down the stairs, got in the studio, and I said it. Once I said it, the whole world just started saying it. I don't know how the hell it became, but it also helped the brothers that behind the wall. Like, it gave them some kind of ambition or some kind of motivation, and it gave them some in their chest where they start poking that motherfucker out like, nigga, I'm on Muslim time. Hot shit, pop shit, what's up? So we kind of started banging like for Islam type shit,
Right.
And I don't want to ever get into no shirk or no newly invented matters or no shit like that, but it's just something that we say to represent the Muslim.
Dope.
But Ak itself just mean brother.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, so anybody can practically say it.
Right.
Shit, pop shit. I'm gonna say that in the corner store tomorrow. or make it work.
Right.
Now, growing up in Atlanta, how do you become part of a gang affiliation that starts in Cali?
I had a brother by the name, well, I don't want to say his name. He one of my good men. He was in Eastman. It was like a boot camp. Like, you know, we was really, really terrible kids. We always stay in and out of juvenile. And he had got down in juvenile, actually. And he was my man, and I was supporting whatever he was supporting. And, you know, he asked me to be a part of it, and I just became a part of it on the strength of my mans.
Was it the type of thing where you felt like you had an allegiance with people on the West Side?
Nah, because I was actually East Coast. You know, I was no, yes, ma'am. You know, the West Coast wasn't fucking with me.
Right.
I mean, now you know it just shit done got crazy with the gang shit now. But I think that was my oath that I made with my man, and it wasn't what I thought it would be. You smell me? And I thought that blood was just one color, like everybody was just one, and then I started seeing that it's different sets and different people, different OGs. Yeah, and I went down.
One thing is a Bob Marley song. It's not.
Yeah, that shit was just divided.
Right.
And I couldn't really be a part of that. And then once you become Muslim, you can't have two hearts. You gotta represent. You gotta either worship that or worship Allah. And that's what I read. And it took me a little while to, you know, walk on that journey to get specifically on Muslim time only. Mm-hmm. But you know, that happened with every young nigga.
Right.
Right.
About what age would you say you
quit banging?
Yeah.
Shit. I want to say I started banging like 18 years of age, 19.
18.
Yeah.
How long were you?
Shit, since I was a kid, probably from about, I want to say from 6th, 7th grade.
6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was early.
What was your household like?
It's not a drug household. I was born in a liquor house. My mama, she used to sell liquor. My mama sold crack. You know, that was in the early 90s and whatnot. So everybody was pretty much raised up in the crack house in the neighborhoods we was in, of course. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just the same old struggle everybody went through. You know, I don't ask for no pity. You know, everybody come up and do these sad ass stories like they ain't have no choice and be shit. I think that it made me who I am today. You smell me?
When you converted, how did that affect your family?
My mama was on it. Like she was like, shit, you know, I've been a Christian all my life. You know, I went to church every Sunday. I went to Bible study every Wednesday. I actually got baptized at Pastor Motley Church. Went to Pastor Douglas Church for a couple of years. They came and supported me at all my court appearances. I stayed in and out of juvenile. I just used to be shooting. I used to be doing a lot of crazy shit. My mama just said, whatever it is that can help you do better than what you've been doing, I'm with it. But she still stayed in the church, of course.
Mm-hmm. So.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel a flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.